Well, good afternoon. I'm currently looking for my husband, so we'll see if we can find him. I'll just give you a minute, see if I can find where he is. So here we are. It's Sunday afternoon. It's an absolutely beautiful day. It was really hot here today. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Let me know that that the sound's good, and then we'll get started. So hi everybody. Thumbs up or a little comment to let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, and then we'll get started. I'm actually looking for Rick, so I'm on my way. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right, I'm on my way. This is we're currently getting these homes prepped. They'll have their final cleans, and then they'll be heading out to customers very, very soon. And this is where we'll be sitting. Oh, there he is.
Oh, g'day, darling.
Hi, what are you doing?
I was having a bit of a kip, actually.
Right, okay.
Truth be known, I'm modelling this bath with recessed into the deck. Kill two birds with one stone.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so tell us about it while you're in there.
Well, what we've done, just a client request here, we've got a couple of kids, and what we've done is recessed the bath into the deck, so they can sit either side of the deck. Kids can jump in the bath, have a paddle around, while they're sitting there having an afternoon wine or beverage,
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, yep, I see that there's the tap.
There's a tap there to fill your bath up.
Okay.
And I'll show you how the cover works.
Yep.
Real simple. We've got it so it's designed out of the same deck material. So it'll just sit on top like that.
Ah, what's your wine? Very nice.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Lovely.
Yeah, so
very good. And so for travel, then obviously you'd take that bath out and.
When we're transporting the deck, the deck folds up. It's on hinges here.
Yeah.
So the deck folds up against the side of the tiny home. The roof folds down and they bolt together for transport. And of course, we take the bathtub out. We don't leave that in because that pushes us over the width that we need to be.
Yeah.
But that'll be all plumbed in into the sewer and whatnot. So whenever they need to, when they fill it up and be able to release the water.
Okay.
So yeah, a bit of a swimming hole for the kids, or hey, imagine setting that up out on the farm.
Yes.
Big view, checking out the Serenity.
Yep.
Glass of wine.
Have a wash.
Bit of a beer.
Nice. Very good. Yeah. So what do you think, people? Would you put one of those in your tiny home? Would you have a bath on your deck? Put some bubbles in it and drink some bubbles and have a... Who needs to travel anywhere? Really? You'd just be set.
Well, we're going nowhere with the virus
That's
now,
it. That's it. So let's just stay and play.
Yeah, that's
it. All right. Well, I'll get up here. Are we going to go inside straight away to have a look before we sit down? Let's do that.
Yeah, right.
Get up.
Let's do it right now. I'll just...
Sorry.
No worries at all.
Let's go inside.
We'll bring you inside. This model here is actually based off our Jolie model, and the colour scheme we put in this one is the Murray Grey colour scheme. You'll see as you come into the tiny house.
It's so cool in here.
Oh, get the aircon on, darling.
Beautiful.
That time of day, 16 degrees, and it's powering. Loving it. What we're going to do, we've got coming for this one here actually is a built-in lounge.
Right.
It'll have custom-made cushions and that. It'll be sitting on top as well. So this will be an L shape, and underneath the lounge itself will have all drawers underneath. So there's heaps more storage as well. This has got this is free front-load washing machine will go in.
Washing machine, yep.
That's all plumbed up to the washing machine there. Telly will go up on the wall here.
Yes.
All our lighting there.
So this here is where the deck gets...
We've got special little plugs. This actually bolt goes through
there, yep.
And when we lift the deck up, we've got another one up the other end.
Yes.
So when we lift the deck up, we actually bolt that. So the deck's actually bolted to the side of the tiny home.
Yeah.
And then when the roof folds down, they actually bolt together again. So for transport, so it doesn't flop around and stuff. And
Great.
Nice comfortable trip, And then we've got special little plugs that go in there.
Yep.
Once we get it delivered to site.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like it when it's out because I've got to hang something on that.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. Why Why not?
I mean, colour coordinate the bolt, I suppose.
Yeah, hang your cozies if you're a bit shy and don't want to, you don't want to be nudie in your bath.
Throw your speedos up there.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now swing around this way. Okay. The way we've designed this one, so we've got a master bedroom upstairs. Okay, so we've got a queen size bed up there. We'll take you for a walk up there in a sec.
Yep.
So nice gentle staircase up the side there. Every one of these drawers are doing something. Like stairs, sorry. We've got drawers everywhere. Heaps of drawers, heaps of storage. So we're really capitalising on the space.
Okay.
Down here.
Yep.
Landing room, and then in this area here, we've got an opportunity where we can put the microwave in here. So we've got power point in there for microwave. So it's well for people that are maybe not as tall. We can put a microwave up here. So we've got the power point up there as well. So either way, we go either way. And then the rest of these steps are all actually for deep storage.
Yes.
Okay, so they all lift up. So you put higher storage in these, in the staircase. So you're really massing that void area behind the stair,
Okay.
As we come through here,
kitchen, nice
timber tops.
Can I show me what happens here?
You ready for this stuff?
Yeah.
We just have to introduce this, and we'll open it. Check that out. There's our dining table.
Ooh, wow. Very nice. What do you think, people? Is that a good thing? Let's get some comments. Tell us what you think about that table.
There's our dining table. We used to have them at the other end with a fold-out table, but we found that restricted people, they couldn't put a L-shaped lounge around there. So we thought, okay, let's bung it over here into the kitchen. So you can actually still use this as a breakfast bar. See, we've got a recess under here. So you can still
sit at it.
You can still set it with stools. Okay, use it as a breakfast bar.
Yes.
And then at night time, just pull it out. Bung a couple of seats over the side.
That's right. Do your jigsaw puzzle or
crochet.
Well, you can crochet anywhere. Yes. Love the table. Excellent. Great.
I'm really stoked.
That's very nice. Our pressed tin that I just love. I love so much.
Actually, just give a shout out to Benny's Kitchens. This was their
Benny's Joinery.
Concept in the mechanics of the way it all worked.
I
just said that's what I want. And they made it happen. So
thanks, Joe.
Great effort, Benny's Kitchens. For that, so I'm stoked about that.
Love our farmhouse pendant light. That's sort of one of our standard things. You'll notice we have the smoke alarms and all the things. So if you were, living in this permanently, it's all BCA, Building Code of Australia approved.
So we capitalise on these beams. These are also help with the structure of the building, act as collar ties. So we've got booker rod inside those, then the beams itself, they press the booker rod up. And then we put the lighting and the cable in there for a light and a smoke detector up here. All right. Coming into the kitchen area, these splash packs, we're loving this stuff. We actually buy this pre-powder coated now.
This is pressed tin out of Bathurst. We love pressed tin. Hi guys, we love your work.
Love it.
And this is our new timber bench tops that solid timber, nice and thick, and not stained, lacquered. Yep. Love my kitchen sink. This is this is standard. Bath a baby in there.
Comes really functional little sink.
Soak your clothes.
2-burner hot place. We've dropped back to the 2-burner. We used to put the 4 burners in, but no one uses the other 2. They just take up space.
You're not really, in a tiny home, you're not going to have 20 people for dinner and need 4 burners. So, because if you do, you're going to have a barbie outside that you can use more woks or whatever out there. So, a bit more bed space, yes. So the range hood goes up in underneath there. That's not in just yet.
Underneath there, 600mm electric oven, or you can put the gas oven in if you want to go off grid. I'd recommend going for the gas oven.
And all of these handles are the caravan ones that pull out, so they don't. Oh, and the standard inclusions of the cutlery inserts and things in there.
It's just so obviously when you're moving and transporting,
that's
you don't worry about
things falling out.
Taking the doors shut. Because the doors will automatically just.
So go down the end there. So we've got bedroom.
This is our second bedroom up here. Got double bunks.
One, two.
Here. 1, 2.
Storage underneath.
4 drawers underneath here. This home here is for 2 little children, so
Yep.
we've got 4 drawers, they've got 2 drawers each.
Yep.
We've got
And a desk.
School desk in here.
Yep.
Plenty of room.
And then the door here is a slider between the two.
The way we do this standard for our homes, just use a one door.
Yep.
Actually, just to close off the bedroom if need be, but more than most cases, just
And then
to close off the bathroom
I'll just
itself.
pop this in so they can see. So
Yeah.
I haven't done my job yet. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be all nice and detailed and cleaned. I'll get there. I've been a bit busy.
So you got your 900 by 900 shower. Full fiberglass shower.
Yep.
This one here, this home here is actually getting plumbed into the sewer.
Right.
So we've got a soft close seat,
Yep.
and the toilet itself gets plumbed into the sewer, back to the wall toilet. So top of the line stuff.
Yep, and then vanity there.
Nice little vanity.
And
and a shaving cabinet.
And the cabinet.
Yeah.
Another
Another big.
And there's the pantry.
Big
pantry.
Big pantry there. Plenty of room
Like
to,
really, so much space.
run all your food.
Heaps and heaps of
Plenty of
space.
food.
Or more clothes if that's your thing.
Yeah.
So I'm coming
And
back
where
out
the
this way.
Full size fridge stuff will go in here.
Yep. Yes, full size.
Fridge.
Yep.
I'll take you for a lap upstairs.
All right, you do it. Up you go. Notice how you're standing up, all the way up,
All the way up.
and you're still standing up, up the top. Have a look at that.
So the height up here, 1.84 metres clear. So 6'2" roughly.
Yep.
You're going to be clear of
As far as we know, we are the only tiny house builder in Australia that actually has full height standing upstairs.
room upstairs.
So let's go up there
That's
and have a look.
Huge asset.
This handrail is really sturdy and nice too.
Yeah.
Really like that. And then I notice little features up here, these sort of
Detailed
angled,
roof.
detailed
Yeah,
roof, so
yeah.
you're not hitting your head as you're
That's
coming
right,
around.
yeah. So the way we did this, in our standard homes that only got the ladder to access upstairs, we just have the 2 roofs going like this all the way through. But when we've got a solid staircase,
Yep,
we're walking up into the roof space. So what we've done, we've detailed the roof.
that looks so cool.
So we've created like a dormer roof on the
Oh,
outside.
you could do a mural on here of like stars and that.
Yeah. How much you run, you see the stars,
Oh,
Yeah, and
all the
see-
things. Oh, yep, so we've got lights.
USB,
the beds,
double
yep.
power points. I mean,
Bed, it's queen size bed there. There's
this is actually designed to the queen size bed.
USB to power points and things there.
Yeah.
I think it's a 2-way switch somewhere. Is there? Oh, this one behind
Yeah,
me. It's
yeah.
a 2-way from downstairs.
Lights
And then I'll
the
come in
stairwell.
around here, and here, look at the
Oh,
storage.
storage.
Oh,
This is for a professional couple, so for hang their suits and stuff up.
yes,
And plenty of
plenty. So that's
Plenty
the
of
full
room.
height. So normally, what we do is go to
we normally
that
go to
bench
this height.
there.
We just go to this height here.
So you look down into
yeah.
the
So
top. Yep.
obviously keeps it a lot more open. But this acts as this bench storage acts as a handrail as well. So the clients wanted the extra over here for more storage.
Yep.
Or
More
hanging space
yes.
for the gear.
Yep.
And
So really big cupboard there for that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Really
going back downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a shot
Doesn't
over
take long to clean. That's one great aspect, isn't it? So here I am. I'm looking across. I'm looking over at the loft on this side.
I'll go straight up into the other loft.
Yep.
And once again, you see it's full height.
Standing up.
Standing up over here.
Yeah.
Just want to get the clients going to use this as a home office. So
Right.
desk up one of the windows.
Terrific.
And
Such a long commute to work.
Yeah.
So they come down that ladder and then up these stairs for a little rest. Back down.
These are solid aluminium.
Yeah, I'll come down.
Staircases.
Yep.
Solid aluminium steps. Handles are just in a strategic spot, so it's
Yep.
easy to use.
Yep.
But the other side, they're going nowhere.
Yeah, I'll just get up nice and close so you can see how solid they are. They're all powder coated.
Powder coated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
pretty-
let's head back outside and sit down. We've got so much to talk about.
Yeah. Who's going?
Okay, we'll just get our seats and we'll
Bit
have a
warmer
sit
out
down.
here, Dar.
All right, so I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, hi everybody. How are you all? I hope you're doing well. It's a really hot day here today. But But we've got so much to share.
Yeah,
we've got so much to share. It's all
going.
very exciting. So we'll start with the two, I don't know if you saw on social media, we've got the two displays, the Maverick and the Jolie, which are down in our display area. They're both now for sale because they've done their time. We've had them on display for a while, and so we've got a really keen price. And we've been inundated with people interested in those. So they'll be heading off, well, it could be, there's lots of places. Orange, Berry, the Highlands, who knows where they're heading, but there's lots of people very, very keen because they'll jump the queue and they're going to save about $20,000.
Yeah, we've knocked about 20 grand off the displays, just because, like Shani said, they've done their time. They've been a great asset for us early in the piece. So we've got new models now that we want to display down the front. So it's time to move them on and, crack some new homes in there.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. Yeah. And what else were we talking about today? We've got lots of questions. Oh, there's somebody here to pick up something. I sell furniture, so I've got a... Hi, how you going? If you could just pop over to the house and they'll get them for you. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I am. Thank you. Yes, we're just doing a live at the moment, so it's okay. It's all right. It's all good. So we've got some questions.
Have we?
Yes.
Right, let's go.
Do we tell them the big news first, or we'll wait? Let's wait a little bit.
Right.
We'll wait a little
bit.
Keep
the suspense, Dave.
Yeah.
Keep the suspense.
Okay, so let's start with the questions for this week. So, okay. So do you build the smaller 2.4 models because I have a narrow driveway?
We've as been asked that quite a bit over the last couple of months, and just I guess because of public demand and people's situation, not that they necessarily want a smaller home, but because of their the actual mechanics of the way their property works, they need the smaller home to be able to fit it in, like a narrow driveway or a tight area that they can't fit our larger homes in, or a smaller backyard. So in saying that, yes, we've just developed our Emerson model, which we'll basically be releasing next week. We're going to do a video walkthrough of the Emerson 2.4, overall height 4.3, so it's a standard registration, it's just towed around anywhere. We'll get our big weighbridge coming in.
Yes, we'll take some film of that so people can see what that means, how we get them weighed to make sure that they fit underneath the...
Yeah, so we're going to... and what I do, just as a standard thing, I'll get a mobile weighbridge guy to come in. We do our overall weight. It gives me confidence then when our homes leave the property that firstly we're legal, and secondly also it helps me as we improve our models and as we lighten the load just through engineering and design. What that does is show us, lets me know where I'm up to with our overall weights. But one of our big savings, and we've actually saved half a tonne, so 500 kilos, is we've now switched over to aluminium trailers. So with the aluminium trailers, and it's been a great improvement. In actual fact, it's easier in our construction as well. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And thank you to Chris from Exclusive helping us working together. And we've got a great prototype model now for all our homes. Fantastic.
So last week I was driving down the south coast and I noticed that a lot of the caravan dealerships have hardly any caravans on their lots anymore because they just don't have, they've sold out. People can't travel overseas. They're buying the caravans so that they can travel in Australia. And people cannot get the 12 to 15 months wait for a caravan.
Yes.
And so one of the questions that we had was, are there any more tiny house carnivals or shows that they can come and have a look? And I thought, well...
Yes, well, we've managed to get in for the caravan and camping show, Rosehill Racecourse. So
where the flowers are.
April this year, we'll be exhibiting. So if you live in Sydney or the surrounding areas, or you normally come from interstate to come to the Rosehill Racecourse Caravan and Camping Show, we will be exhibiting there, and that's where we'll be actually launching our Emerson model. This will be going head to head with your with your 7 metre caravans, your Winnebagos, and all that sort of stuff. In actual fact, when you look at the floor area that our Emerson model has, 7.2 metres long, and upstairs we've got a 3.6 metre loft and a 1.2 metre loft. So our Emerson model is the equivalent of an 11 metre caravan in floor space. So
yeah.
I'm pretty stoked about that. It's a great looking unit.
So, yeah, look out for us at the Caravan and Camping Show. It's at Rose Hill, Parramatta direction. I think it's the 13th to the 18th of April. It's a Tuesday to a Sunday. We are outside the building, of course.
Yeah.
We are sort of at an entrance, like a side entrance.
Yeah, yeah.
As you come
we're sort
in.
Of, because obviously this is the first time we've exhibited at the
we're
Caravan and
right
Camping
at
Show.
the...
So we're in the back stalls. You know,
we're at the end near the toilets,
back,
probably. But hey, that's a good spot. Always a good spot.
Right where all the food vans are.
The food vans, the coffee. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, and, it was quite funny. The ladies organised it all, and thank you. She's done a great job.
Yeah.
I think she sort of underestimated how big a tiny home is, and we asked for an area of 9 metres, sort of by 4 metres, because with the tow hitch and the length of the tiny house, we sort of needed like 9 metres, you know. And she'd come back at 6 metres by 6 metres, and I said, "Well, listen, can we change the orientation of this a little bit and make it 9 by 4 or whatever, you know, same square metres?" But she said, "No, you got a big Moreton Bay fig this side, and on this side here you got fire hydrants, and that's 6 metres." And I'm thinking, well, it's really got to cramp my style. And I said, "Well, listen,
we will make it work.
Can we orientate it then?" Go grab a couple of metres out the back. She said, "No, that's a walkway. We can't go out there." And I'm thinking, wow, that's got to make me tiny house real tiny. And I said, I got on Google Earth and I checked out the spot. Right, it's the only spot, the only one in the whole Caravan Camping Show that's under a tree. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, here's my next headache. How high is the tree, love? I said, my tiny houses, 4.3 metres high. I said, can you check that out for me? Because that's really going to make it hard for us, you know. So, anyway, she's come back. The guys at the show, they've come back with the dimensions, 4.38. So I said, you beauty, we've got 38 mil to clear.
38 mil.
38 millimetres,
plenty of
that's
room.
about that much.
Plenty of room. Good thing you're a good backer.
Yeah. So,
yes.
But anyway,
so we'll be there. We'll be there, and we were the last spot available. So that's probably why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're there. So come and see us and say hello. The question is, I see on your website that you can stand up in the upstairs lofts, which we just showed.
Yep.
How can you do that when other tiny houses can't do that?
Okay, well, I think I mentioned before, I'd come out of high-rise construction, and if I was going to get into tiny house...
your video is sideways. That's interesting. Okay. How do I fix that?
Press the flick button, Dar. You know, what's that button? Press it.
What? This is to turn around.
Yeah, turn around.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's why. Look at the words. They're sideways. No wonder you can't read them, Dar. Flick it. Press that button.
What?
This one.
This is to turn it so that you see out there.
Oh, is that...
And you have lovely shade. I don't know. Sorry. I'm not sure why it's sideways. But if I do that...
No, there must be
I don't know.
Oh.
Is it hurting anyone else? Oh, you can't turn your phone while recording. Oh, jeez. Now I've totally stuffed it up.
Is it still going?
Okay. We're just going to keep going with whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what's going on. I'm so sorry why it's...
See the words are...
That fixed it. Woohoo! Yes! Awesome
technology.
Stuff. Okay. I'm so sorry. Please tell us next time that we're lying sideways.
I thought Mark Zuckerberg was onto us.
No.
And he was trying to shut us down because we're giving you stuff.
You're not the only ones to have the issue. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much.
It's a Google issue.
All right.
Google.
It's definitely my issue, but I don't know how to fix it because we've talked about this before. I'm not going to go into how technologically challenged we really are. So we were talking about the lofts and how you can stand up upstairs.
Okay, as I mentioned, if I was, it was just a personal thing for me. If I was going to get into tiny home construction, I wanted to make my tinies as big as I could. So, because ultimately what we're attracting people that are coming out of normal size homes where they can walk around and use all the facilities. And so I wanted them to be able to walk around not only the ground floor but also in the upstairs loft. I wanted them to be able to walk, when they get out of bed, sit up out of bed, stand up, put your shirt on, without sort of bumping your head. So hence I did a lot of homework with our engineering, and in coordination with the RMS and all sorts of things, and my original trailer fabrication company, to really come up with the goods. So effectively now, a culmination of 100mm drop axles, recessing our wheels up into the tiny home, and then the fact that we come under the category of an oversized load for our larger models, which you don't need a permit for, which means you can ultimately go to 4.6 metres high, and ends up with a ceiling height of 1.84 metres clear ceiling height. So, which for most people works.
Yep.
Although I can remember having an open day, I've never seen so many tall people wanting to go into a tiny home.
I know. And we're building for someone who's 6'2".
Yeah, so, that's right.
I don't understand, but no, all good though.
Yep.
Somebody said that you'll have a lot of shade at the show. If you've got the only tree there,
yes,
it will be beautiful.
It will be
Everyone
beautiful.
else will be coming over to get under the shade of that tree.
That's exactly
And thanks
right.
for telling us about the side thing.
Yeah,
Please tell us early on if we're
Yeah.
doing something wrong or you can't hear us, so
Yeah.
that we can. We probably can't fix it, but
Yeah.
at least we'll know that you can't hear us, and we could do some sign language. Something like that. Right, well, let's talk about the thermal qualities of our tiny homes, because a lot of council assessments now regarding
They require a thing called the BASICs, which
Yes.
What that does is shows all the thermal qualities of your tiny home, and where a lot of tiny homes will struggle or have struggled with councils is because, including us, it's all to do with the size of the home, the size of windows, so it makes it really hard. So unless you've got absolutely bulletproof insulation, it's just you're not going to come up with the requirements you need to meet your BASICs. So the way that ultimately we're able to achieve that is because our homes are built out of solid 75mm refrigeration panel. So effectively it's like a giant esky on wheels. But what we've also introduced now is that we used to run all of our electrical wiring, inside the panelling itself. So now what we're actually doing is battening out the panelling. So we've got a 20mm, we created a 20mm cavity. What that cavity does is that on top of the battens, then we put sarkin and then the cladding. So by creating an actual cavity in our walls, it starts to work like a standard house then with a brick cavity on a home, which as soon as you create that void area, that helps with not only acoustic insulation but also with your thermal insulation. So
Right.
that's one of the reasons that we are able to, because we can go up to under the category of an oversized load, we can go up to 3.5 metres wide. So with our gutters that run right around the tiny homes, about 150mm, and then our awning in our deck that takes about 200mm, we cap it at about 3.4 metres. So to bung an extra 20mm on each side, we're still well under our 3.5. But if you're when you build the 2.4 models, you can't go over 2.5. That includes lights, that includes door handles. Nothing can go past 2.5, otherwise it's illegal. So you've got to stay under 2.5.
Right.
So you don't have that luxury of being able to create a cavity in your walls. You know?
Rachel said we give her a good laugh when we're on our lives. It's probably unintended, but we're laughing too. So hope we've made your day a little bit brighter. So next question. Lots of people have asked this one about the larger windows. So we put the windows in that are more like a home, a standard window that you would be opening and closing for breeze and things like that. Yeah. Do you do the bigger windows, the big picture windows?
Yeah. This question actually comes up a lot, so we thought we'd answer that again because it just got raised again this weekend. The reason that we do the proportional size windows that we do is purely because, like the word says, proportional. So it suits the size of the room. Now, a lot of people, for a weekender, you're going away for a weekend and just staying at, say, a B&B for a weekend. There's lots of show ponies out there that like, being on display and whatnot. But what we find is the bigger the windows, firstly, you lose a lot of your thermal insulation because of the glass. And then, of course, then at night time, it's like living in a fishbowl. If you turn your lights on, everyone gets a royal view, So then you've got to start putting curtains on the tiny homes. But then that's just another thing that you've got to do. So, but of course, in saying all of that, no problem doing the bigger windows with our structural, the way we've structurally built the homes. We can do the larger windows all around, no problem at all. Because now we're actually, with our refrigeration panel, we're now doing it horizontally in our structure. So what that's actually, it's like a big truss now. So the homes themselves are just, like I said, and the roof are all done in full sheets, the whole roof, which means it's like one big truss. So we can actually do very large windows now all around our home if requested, no problem.
I put one up on our stories last night. Did you see that? It was just a full dome thing out in the middle of the desert, and there was no privacy whatsoever apart from a curtain that you pulled around, which you would love. I would die.
Oh no, every man wants a nude room.
In the middle of the desert. Nobody around.
But because we've got our decks on our homes, of course, if you want the view, just walk out onto the deck.
That's right. That's the whole beauty of tiny home living is that you get outside your house and hike and do the things.
That's right.
Garden and, enjoy the world.
Enjoy the serenity.
Exactly. Okay, next question. How much land area do I need to install your tiny home with the deck and the awning? So what's the width?
Okay, yeah. So the tiny home itself is 3 metres wide. The deck's another 2 metres. So the overall width is 5 metres. And the length, say, including the drawbar, if you said 9 metres, say 9 metres by 5 metres, so 45 square metres will give you a nice, comfortable area to be able to secure your tiny home. Now, in saying that, our homes can be on a slope. We've got, they come with 4 2.5 tonne jacks. So with the jacks mount on the tiny home, we can actually jack the tiny home off the ground with the jacks to actually level it. In actual fact, when I install the tiny homes on the client properties, what I do is take about the jacks will take about 3/4 of the weight. So what I'm doing, I'm actually jacking the home up off the wheels, up off the springs. And what it's got to do is, that way you're not putting a lot of load. Like you see a lot of these caravans around, like they've got levelling jacks on the sides, but they can't take the weight of the actual caravan. So our jacks actually can lift the caravan off the ground. What that means is, like, you're not going to end up with square tyres. You say you left it somewhere for 12 months, you can imagine 4.5 tonne.
Yes.
All the time, rested on your wheels, on your shocks, on your bearings, on your axles. So we take that load off all that running gear. So you can be assured that next time you want to tow your tiny home somewhere, just lower the jacks down and away you go.
Beautiful.
No problem. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And because the wheels, homes are 3 metres wide, the trailers are 2.4 wide. So your wheels are actually recessed in underneath the home. So what that does is that sort of gives them that weather covering, so rain and all that sort of stuff. So you're not getting, you're sort of protected from the elements because they're actually hidden in underneath the home itself. Yeah.
Right, yes. I didn't even think about that. That's a very good point.
That's why on the brains of the outfit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What am I then? Oh, I don't know.
You're the decorator. You are the interior
I just make it pretty.
designer.
Make it pretty. Okay.
I just build the boxes.
Okay. So I think you might have just answered that. How heavy are your tiny homes? Did you just answer that question?
Yeah.
I think you might have.
We did mention that we've got the Weybridge coming. Did we finish that story?
I think we did.
Yeah, okay.
Finish that story. We can move on to the next story because there's so much
just on that, right, the Weybridge, what I'm pretty excited about is our Emerson. Now, this is the 2.4 one. that's in direct competition with every other tiny home in Australia.
Right.
2.4 wide.
Yep.
7.2 metres long.
Yep.
4.3 metres high.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this?
Oh.
I'm thinking
Yes.
we're going to come in about 3 tonnes to 3.1 tonne. So that means you don't need a truck to drag it around.
Okay.
Okay, you don't need a Dodge Ram, 150,000 Dodge Ram.
We should have a little competition.
Ooh.
If you're watching this video and you've come this far and you're still watching, leave a comment between now and next week when you get that weighed, and tell us what you think the weight's going to come in at.
Yeah.
And we'll send out, I don't know.
Slab of beer,
not everyone drinks beer.
Oh.
So, but we're going to send you a present, something.
Yeah.
We're going to send you something. I'm not sure what.
Whoever's the closest.
Maybe a child. I could send you one of our kids.
Couple of foster kids.
No. But one of the grandkids. There's a few. Yeah. So leave a comment on what you think the weight of the Emerson is going to be, and then we'll let you know next Sunday.
Yep.
Will it be
Who
before
it
then?
is.
Will you have it weighed before then?
I've just got a programming guy. I haven't even rang him yet.
Okay.
But it's usually pretty good, so hopefully I can get him down at the end of the week.
Yes.
And we'll bung it on the weighbridge.
Bung it on weighbridge. We'll bung it on, and then we'll let you know. And whoever was the closest.
Yep.
So give them a ballpark between.
Okay, let's
2.8.
No. We won't go that low. I'm thinking 3 tonne to
3.6.
Yeah. Okay. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be conservative.
3 to 3.6.
3 to 3.6.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So let's see how they go. That's 600 kilos, Dad. Right? That's 600 kilos.
The quote of this comment: "Every man wants a nude room." So.
It's a true story, though.
Right.
Like, not a lot of guys that admit that, right?
Only you on public YouTube land.
But it's funny, every time I say it, you just see the fellas go,
Yes. So the next person who rings up for a tiny house will just say, just give me the nude room.
Nude room.
Okay.
We might design one of them.
3.15 we've already got in, so we will see.
Righto.
Don't drink. Great. We'll think of something. Whoever's got the closest, we will send you a Prezi if you're the closest to the weight of the Emerson. So listen, put your thoughts down on what you think it's going to be. We'll let you know. We'll put a picture up of the actual weighbridge thing so you can see it.
So we won't cheat. We'll actually take a video of the There's
no cheating.
No
all
cheating.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, next question.
Yep.
Before we get on to our news, exciting news. What are the largest homes that you build?
Well, we've been just our standard ones. We've just been doing it 7.2, just because. No special reason. I thought everyone else is doing 7.2, so I'll jump on the bandwagon and let's go 7.2.
Yeah.
Because obviously. With tiny homes, the bigger the tiny home, so in other words, the more square metres the tiny home is, whether it be wider or longer, for every square metre adds to the cost. Adds to the cost in materials, adds to the cost in engineering. The longer you go, there's obviously more engineering involved that you'll need to make sure the structural adequacy of the actual tiny home.
Yes.
But one of the biggest drawbacks on going too long with the tiny home is effectively... because you try to keep your tiny home as low to the ground as possible, what that means is if you're going up like a roads that's got ducks and weaves and stuff like this, or into a sharp driveway, a lot of driveways are a bit sharp.
Yep.
And you don't want to be stuck with your tiny home caught each end and the wheels like flapping in the air.
Yes, yeah.
So that's probably one of the biggest probably issues. And then of course you've got your turning circles where people got to drive it, the streets you drive in. There's a lot sort of come into play, so
yes.
In saying that, we're just in the process of we've got a couple of 8.5s we'll be doing shortly.
That's exciting.
So, 8.5 by 3 metres. So that's like we're talking a granny flat on wheels now. That's huge.
That is huge.
Actually, it's going to be single level too. So
wow. Okay, that's more for like
corporate sort of
retreat style rather than living full time.
Yeah,
you would say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's
can't say too much yet.
Can't say too much yet. Yep.
So, but we've got some news, a little bit of news that we want to share with everybody, and it's very exciting because we've had a lot of people over the last 18 months ask us about this, and we can finally tell you that we can do it. Do you want to share the news? You share the news.
Yeah, okay.
Go.
Well, just in this last week, we've now been able to structure the company and ourselves. So we're now in a position that we can offer, with the right client, up to 100% finance on your tiny home.
Yes.
So pretty excited about that. We've already got 2 people in the already in the system going through the process with the finance. So if you're short $1, you haven't got much of a deposit organised, or just thinking, I'm done, I just want to live in a tiny home, but you've got a good rental income, maybe a bit of credit history, something like that. Hey, come and talk to us. We can hook you up and get you living in a tiny home. And because remember, dreams are free. So press the button. You just got to make it happen. And this is, I look at people and think, you're a long time dead. So get in amongst it. Just start the ball rolling and start living tiny.
So
living tiny.
Finance, yes. We've partnered with a firm who will do up to 100% finance on a tiny home to approved clients. So if that's you and you've got some sort of a bit of a deposit but not enough, you think, talk to us, call us this week. We will put you in touch and we'll get the system going. Get
the job done, yeah. Because a lot of your banks, and early in the piece before we'd actually set this up, a lot of our clients they don't want to borrow it. They just don't want to look at it. They're not interested because, as you can appreciate, with banks, they're after security. And obviously with the tiny home, people can knock it off, people can steal it.
Yeah.
So they don't have that security, So, but for the right people, we can hook you up and get you living tiny in no time at all. So probably 2-week turnaround on the finance. And
not 2 weeks on a tiny house.
Oh, no.
Unless you want to buy the display. But, it's really, really cool. We now offer finance.
Yep.
So share this, let people know. If you know friends that were looking at tiny home living and just didn't have that nest egg to start, we can, to the right approved client, as I said, they still have to go through an approval process, but this is way more than we've ever found with any banks, with anyone we've talked to. This company will do it. So we are so excited at what this can mean for young couples, for people they're just so close, but they just don't have enough.
People that just lucked it out. Maybe have a divorce settlement, you didn't get what you thought you were going to get, and I don't.
Where'd that come from? I'm talking about young couples starting out.
Well, I'm giving that whole spectrum, though. Oh. There's a whole spectrum of people,
there is.
So people just had a bad run, but at the end of the day, got a good job, and in that position to be able to service. Because let's face it, if you're most people, probably on average, people are paying around $500 a week rent. To give you an idea, to borrow $100,000 on a 7-year term loan is going to cost you $490 a week.
There you go.
So, but you'll own your home.
You'll be living in it.
Own your home. Now, actually, on that $490 from the 7-year loan, that included paying a farmer or someone $150 a week
to
rent.
Park it.
$150 a week rent to park your tiny home. And the other $300 odd bucks is going to service the debt, interest and principal.
So if you're someone who doesn't like the finance stuff, the numbers, it's just a little bit hard, please call us because we've had a little bit of experience at this sort of stuff, and we can certainly help just go through those numbers with you, help you out, and then we'll put you onto these people, but we can have that pre-conversation with you just to give you some idea, and then you might say, look, it's probably going to be another couple of years. That's okay. We're here to help. We want to see you guys getting into some sort of homes without the huge debts that we see young ones getting into today. Like, we're like mum and dad. We just we don't want you in a lot of debt, So that was one of the big reasons that we started this company. We wanted to see young ones doing this.
Yeah, that's why we're a little bit passionate about the tiny home. What we actually can provide for our clients is we're not talking major debt now. I mean, yes, $100,000 is still a lot of money to people. I understand that.
Yeah.
But $800,000 is a lot more for a house and land package.
So I've had a question. What about someone on a pension? I think it would still apply if you've got some sort of credit history and have something behind you. They look at it. They take it on a base term by person by person basis. It's not,
Yeah.
oh, these are our rules.
Yeah.
They will look at your history and they'll work with you.
That's
so
right. We've even got a couple on benefits. They've been on the benefits for obviously whatever period of time, but at the end of the day, that's still income. And our structure is set up that will still come into the play, and we'll be able to afford you a tiny home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty exciting stuff.
It is exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And we could also work with you over time. So you might say, well, I actually don't want a tiny house for 12 months. We'll put you in the system over a 12-month build rather than a 3-month build.
Yeah.
So we'll do yours slower in between other people's. And then you, as you can afford it, we'll keep going. So there's plenty of options. Don't
like a lay-by
set
setup. One of the biggest things now we're finding, and at the moment we're actually absorbing some price rises coming through from the trailers, our structure, through to our just in this last month, from all of our suppliers, all touting increases because of just where everything's going and China and
harder to
everything
get things
else.
in and
So everything is going up. At the moment, we're absorbing that, but it will come a time, probably in the coming months, that our prices will have to increase to reflect the increased construction costs from our suppliers.
So
materials.
now's the best time.
Yeah, now's a good time.
The best time to get a tiny house is today.
Not only that,
yesterday.
And say going for a 12-month build, you can actually lock in, like a lay-by, lock in that price now, start the ball rolling, start paying it off over the 12 months or whatever. And but at least then you're locking in a reduced price.
So if you have just joined us, we've just let you know that we now have the facility to offer up to 100% finance on your tiny home build. We are working with a company to offer that to you. It's on a case-by-case basis. It's a lot different to a bank setup, so now you'll have that flexibility to do it if you're a young couple or anyone that's really just hasn't got what they need for the standard loans. This company will be there. So it's very exciting. Also, that will be at the Caravan and Camping Show if you missed the beginning in April in Rosehill, Parramatta, Sydney area. So that's the 13th to the 18th of April. Come and see us. The Emerson model will be there.
Yeah, we'll have the Emerson model there.
Yes.
We will be the only tiny house company at the show.
And we'll also be at Mudgee this year, at July Field Day. That will be on this year. The Bendigo Tiny House Festival has been pushed back to September, so we'll be at that. There's lots and lots of things, but you could always come here, or you could do a video walkthrough of any of our displays at any time. You just call us, we do a video walkthrough with you. It doesn't matter where you live, you can see it at your own pace and that. So
we've had I've done quite a few video walkthrough for clients out west. So obviously it's a 6-7 hour trek to get here. So we'll just do a Zoom walkthrough. So they can check it all out, see what we've got on offer, and just sort of helps them make an informative decision.
And so I guess probably what we want before we head off to cook some dinner for the kiddies is leave a comment and let us know what else you'd like us to show you. And next week we're going to show you through the Emerson model. That should be ready. That's the one where we've got... Did we tell them about the fireplace?
Oh, that was...
Did we tell them about the fireplace?
Remember last week, Dale, we were talking about camo? Right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. It's not camo.
It's not camo, but working with our sign guy, Jono Signs, love Jono, we've actually developed...
It's such an Australian name, isn't it?
Jono
Signs.
Rico, Jono.
And he really is. He's a true blue Aussie. He's so cool.
He's gold.
He is.
So Jono Signs, we've worked together, and what we've developed, we've actually... fabricated a chimney shape on the outside of the Emerson, which serves a purpose. It firstly acts as a downpipe chute for the gutters above. Also, the lower part of the fireplace, we'll call it, is where we put our 9 kilo gas bottles. We put the gas inverter, the
battery?
Solar inverter for the solar panels. And the pump. To be able to pump rainwater as well. So that's all concealed inside this replica-looking chimney. So now, what Jono's done for us, right, he's actually printed bricks, like we're talking real... we're doing this one in stone. It's going to look like a stone fireplace. On the computer, looks unreal. This week it's installed. Next week we're going to show it to you. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
It's going to look really good.
I can't wait.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, with the Emerson, like we're really maxing out the boundaries. Like we're 7.2 metres long. We're right on the boundaries of 2.5 metres wide. We're right on the boundaries of 4.3 metres high. Effectively, it's a box on wheels. Like when you think about it, it's not real. It doesn't sound real pretty. So we thought, well, let's just dress this up a bit. Let's bung a chimney at the front.
Yes.
And it looks unreal.
It does.
Yeah.
It does look unreal.
Looking forward.
So we've had a question. So for next week, we'll talk about the compost system with the toilets and water storage and how we do all that. So, but if you have any other questions, because we're about to go this week, we've bored you enough. Just leave a comment here and we'll address it next week or during the week. Just send us a message or leave a comment on the video when you watch it, and we will answer those next Sunday at 4:30. Don't miss the beginning of this. Rick was in the bathtub here. So you might want to play that one back.
Yeah, check
but
that
you
out.
know, I do think the nude room comment probably was the highlight today.
Icing on the cake, though.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So we might go ahead now and turn this off and do some of that.
Oh, quick story, though.
You missed
quick
what
story.
I just said. Oh no, don't tell. No,
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
No, quick story. Okay, so I'm slipped in town the other day to get some tucker, and this fella pulls me over. He says,
I don't think anyone can understand your accent.
He pulls me over and he says, "Hey Rick, what's with all the hand movements, mate? Like you talk with your hands, you know?" And I thought, well, yeah, I sort of do talk with hands. If you give me any cheek, I can really talk. I can swear with my hands as well. But in saying that, it got me thinking, right? How do other people, when they communicate, when they talk, you know, what do they do? How do they? So I'm sort of looking into like body language and stuff like that. And anyway, long story short, I was next day walking along and I got hooked up with this old farmer, right? And anyway, we got chatting, and he's got these fanging eyebrows, right? They're massive, like these big eyebrows. And we're chatting away, just waffling, you know, shooting the breeze. And old mate starts telling me the story. He said, "Yeah, Rick," he said, "I had this auger going. I was pumping wheat up into the silo, and the universal joint was flicking around. Anyway, a chaff bag got caught in the universal joint, and of course then it overheats, you know, and then it's like bam, it catches fire. And I'm like, whoa, check this guy's eyebrows out. It's just like, whoa." I just look at this guy, and I'm just thinking, yeah, this is how this guy communicates with his eyebrows, right? And he's like, whoa. And then I'm thinking, so I'm sort of, after that, I'm driving over in the car, and then I'm thinking to myself, right, imagine if the same guy, right, here's his farm with his big fanging eyebrows, told the same story.
Yes.
With
no movement.
With no movement eyebrows. And I'm just thinking, yeah, Rick, this chaff bag got caught up, overheated, and bam, it just caught fire. And it's like, see that? It had nothing, did it? It's like it's got nothing.
Not the same impact.
It just didn't have the impact. It's like this goes, bam, bam. Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's so true. So how do you communicate?
Yeah.
Do you know, we use our hands a lot. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you do it? How do other people communicate?
Yeah.
Anyway, communicate with us this week.
Talk to us this
Talk to us. Send us a message, a thumbs up, or something.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next Sunday at 4:30.
Good on
See
you guys.
Later.
See you
Bye.
later. Uru.